Okay, I found a spark plug. We're going to spray some stuff into there. Not a whole lot. We're going to put the spark plug back in. I'm going to hand tighten it. Some of you might be cringing on the hand tightening part, but I'll use the needle nose pliers just to give it a bit of a firm. And put this onto there. Okay, now we're going to try to hit the gas. This right here is the gas. I'm going to watch it. Okay, so it's producing spark. The hiccup fluid is not lighting up. I just took that spark plug out, put it against the head here, and it was producing spark. I did see that. In fact, I can do that for you again right now. But what that means is this ignition coil is working, so it's not the ignition coil, but this is not starting up. Could be the fuel. There's a bit of a air gap here in fuel, so what I could, you know what I'm gonna do, maybe I could just shorten up that line right there so that way it's not so long. I'll shorten up the line, give it a go again, and I'm out of options. Okay, so ignition coil is in. Everything is connected. The spark plug is producing spark. Where the hell did I put it just now? Oh. It is still not starting. So when I checked everything, the fuel line, the wires have to be good. There must be something, whatever. But I decided what I'm going to do, into that hole there where the spark plug is, I'm going to use some hiccup fluid. I'm going to give it a nice hiccup. So I'm going to spray some stuff into there. Where the hell is that spark plug? Alright, so this is the old ignition coil, and it's corroded on this end of the wire and on this end of the wire. The previous person had this all laid out just like this, so it would make a connection with the boot. And on the other end, that part there looks like it was injected. It actually stabs into here. Or I actually got it backwards. Yeah. This is the part that makes the connection right there. And this part here is what gets stabbed right there. This is the part that fits onto the spark plug. So that goes onto there. And then this goes into here. Okay, so this is replaceable, by the way. And I tried phoning around and see if anybody could have this piece of wire, and nobody would sell it to me because a few of them says that these wires need to be very specific to the ignition coil. So having said all that, I bought a brand new one. This is brought to you by Yamaha Genuine Parts and Accessories, provided to me by Daytona Motorsports, which is on East Vancouver on Cordova. I bought this brand spanking new beauty, which does in fact fit this scooter. Okay, does it fit right here on the scooter? We're about to find out. Oh my gosh, there's the two holes. We're gonna find out if they line up, and yes they do. Look at that, they line up. Okay, so all I have to do now is just, I'm gonna put this boot onto here and then put that into there and then see if it's gonna fire up. So we're gonna work on that right now. One of the things I forgot to do was check the ignition coil. Remember how I was telling you before that this has been taped up and altered? So this is what it looks like. This part here is taped up all the hell with zip ties. And this part down here has taped up all the hell too. So I don't think that this here is good. I think I need to replace that, but you never know. So we're going to test it. According to the service manual for this scooter, this is what we're looking at. When you look at the picture there, it's a different type of ignition coil than what I have here. The principles are still the same though. So between these 2 points should be about 0.1 to 0.3 ohms, and there should be at least 7 to 12 ohms between this point and this point here. So we're going to do that. We have a multimeter. I'm going to put a line there. Okay, we're going to stick that into. I can't do this with 2 hands. I actually need. And right there. So there we go. Those 2 points. And we get a reading of 0.22, which falls in our range of 0.1 to 0.3. So yes, that connection is good. Now we're going to do a connection between here and here. Actually, any one of these, to be honest. So that's on there. And we're gonna. Okay, there is no reading on this, and it's still touching. There is no reading whatsoever. So, what that tells me, this cord is no good. This entire ignition coil is no good. The reason why it was not starting a few minutes ago is because this needs to be replaced. Somebody was messing around with it right here and right here. So my guess is somebody grabbed this and just ripped this out and disconnected it there and there for whatever reason. Along with all the other damages that I'm finding on this scooter, that is probably what happened. So that's the end of this video. This is going to be replaced. So here we go. The choke is working. Here we Okay, well, you know what? I have to be honest with you guys. There is something seriously wrong with this ignition cord here. It goes to this part here, and this part connects just like this. So what I'm thinking is that there's a bad connection. This part here probably needs to be replaced, because when I took this out and cleaned it, that there was holding everything together. There's probably something hokey going on with this, the ignition system. So you know what? I had this feeling if it doesn't start, it's probably because of this part here. Okay, so let's look at everything else. Yeah. Signal. Okay, let's try it one more time. Okay, so what I'm thinking, I gotta replace this cord and I gotta replace this part here and clean this ground up a whole lot better. And that spark plug, we're gonna replace that spark plug too. That's gonna be our next video, which I'll probably do tomorrow. So that's it for now. Okay, let's try this again. So this is my choke throttle, and this part here was not in all the way when I was trying that out. So now the throttle goes all the way over and not halfway. So we're gonna try to choke it again. Okay everybody, this is the moment that we're waiting for. I went and reinstalled everything. So, as you can see, I put some gas into the gas tank, and it is flowing through the clear tubes, just so you can see the fuel flow in there. Normal 1/4-inch gas lines are black. You can't see anything. It's got a little bit of oil in there, and it's flowing through. The battery is hooked up. All the wiring and electrical and whatever is hooked up too. The carburetor is right there, fully functional, fully hooked up. The only issue I have is the wiring with this one here. I do not know where that goes. And this one here. I do not know where the hookup for these are. So I'll probably find those later, at a later date. Until then, I will turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the fuel just on, like, so it's flowing through. There we go. It's going into the carburetor. It's settling in. That carburetor was dry before I did that. The oil is going into there too. Now I wanted to show everybody the cover. This is a key cover where you just put your key into there and turn it and open it. This is what it looks like. So you see that? What this tells me is that somebody went and pried this open. And you remember how I was showing you that this here was corroded heavily with salt water? Somebody probably put a whole bunch of water into here and corroded the shit out of this, or they left this open, or it leaked rainwater into here and it corroded this. So this is going to go back onto there. And then I'm going to use the keys, put them in the ignition, and just like before, the lights are going to come on. We already know that this does not work, but this works. We already know that one of the lights over there does not work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the keys into the ignition, then start it. So I'm going to hit the choke. Actually, I'm going to put it in choke right now. Choke all the way there. There's choke. This is the kill button for the engine to shut it off. This is the horn. It's not working, but the minute I put the keys in, turn that on, everything should function. And the battery is all hooked up. I don't think there's anything else that I'm missing telling you guys. But this is it. So here we go. Just in case there's a fire, I got a whole bunch of grease rags right there that we can just smother the fire out. And I don't know where my fire extinguisher is, but there's several pails of water right there we can just throw on a gasoline fire. And make sure you have your rum, okay? Make sure you're pissed when you do this so you don't feel anything. Make sure you're pissed so you don't feel anything when you're getting burned. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to hit the ignition, and we're just going to watch everything. 3, 2, 1. Oh, lights. Dashboard comes on. Nothing. Why is there nothing? Oh man, maybe it's the other key. Nope. It's only one key. I am missing something here. I don't know what I'm missing. It's not turning over. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, hold on. That has to do with the starter. The starter wire is right here. That's connected. Right there. Starter is hooked up to that. It's hooked to this. Goes all the way over here to the ignition. Yeah, that's hooked up. This is not looking good. Oh, that's right. It's this button here. You hit this button and it starts it. So here we go. Choke off. Choke on. it on the crank. Okay, everybody, so I found out something very interesting about starting a scooter. So we got the key ignition in there, the choke was on, this is the throttle handle, and when I turn the throttle handle, you look inside here, you can see it's working, right? So, however, when you start it using this here, it doesn't work. It'll just keep on making this sound. See that? That's all that it makes. Now, this has got a kickstart to it right here. What it sounds like is a lot different. So we got the choke on all the way. This is what it sounds like when I am kicking it. There's a little bit of exhaust. Now we're going to take the choke off. Do it again. Okay, so we are getting a better reaction from the kickstart than we are with the electric ignition. And when I look at the fuel line, fuel is going in. So there is something wrong with this. Now, if you remember me saying to you before that this was rolled, this scooter had been in an accident before, because when you look at all the scratches and stuff, like I had this all stripped, but there is some very serious scratches all over the friggin' scooter, and I get this feeling there is something really wrong with this. That kickstart should not sound like that when you are pushing it, right? I'm starting to think that. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to take this out and this assembly right here and look at it very carefully. And I'm going to look at the gearing inside, because it looks like it is starting more with this than with the electric ignition. So that is what I'm faced with right now, and that is what I'm going to leave it at.